In the past, when it comes to action cameras, there was only one go-to option for professionals, and that's GoPro. But in the recent years, GoPro got some serious competition from DJI. This year, the competition is closer than ever, with both the DJI Osmo Action 4 and the GoPro Hero 12 Black Edition. Both amazing cameras carrying the same price tag and featuring comparable specifications. So welcome to my guide on which one you should get. And before we start this with useless blah blah about specifications and features, let's go straight to the video quality. Now, I use action cameras a lot. I love motorbiking, and in the last years I got addicted to FPV drones. For both I need action cameras with great video quality, stabilization and fast frame rate. Now, both cameras can capture in 10-bit color and both have log profiles that are suitable for color grading. Being action cameras, they both offer an extremely wide field of view as well as excellent image stabilization. So we took them for an extreme test, and we even took the effort to build a new and bigger FPV copter that is capable of carrying both at the same time. The stabilization on these two cameras is nothing short of impressive, with both capturing silky smooth video in pretty much all scenarios. The Osmo Action 4 has Rocksteady 3.0 Plus stabilization technology, and the Hero 12 Black Edition has Hypersmooth 6.0. Now, great names, aren't they? And they perform as good as they sound. Now, many, myself included, had hoped that the Hero 12 Black would include a bigger sensor compared to its predecessor, but it doesn't. The Osmo Action 4 includes an all-new, larger sensor, which results in improved color and dynamic range. Whether it's in bright sunshine or in low light, you will see more detail in highlight areas, as well as in white clouds compared to the GoPro. Also, the overall details and the whole footage was better on the Osmo Action 4, but the GoPro can shoot in 5.3K resolution, the DJI can't. Now, honestly, for me the 5.3K option is pretty useless, as there is barely a difference to 4K except for heavy cropping and different formats, and most people I know, including me, they just shoot in 4K 60. So I rather take the better image quality and details on the Action 4 instead of bigger files with no use case for me on the Hero 12 Black. Nevertheless, both cameras have great image quality, and for sure you're gonna like any. Now, both cameras offer a log color profile, which is great for videographers wanting to color grade their footage. Comparing the two side by side, the footage of the Osmo Action 4 appears noticeably flatter, which gives more options in post-production and makes the color grading process easier. Auto-white balance colors, of course there are differences too, but they're also different cameras. Now, the field of view may be important to some of you. On the GoPro it's 151 degree on 16:9, while on the DJI it's wider with 155 degrees in all ratios. But GoPro is also selling a different lens that offers 170 degrees, but $100 extra is a hefty price tag. But the biggest difference is in low light. The Osmo Action 4 outperforms the Hero 12 Black, managing to maintain detail in the shadows even in the most demanding of lighting conditions. So DJI most definitely takes the crown here. The DJI has low light image enhancement plus EIS priority in low light, while the GoPro only features some low light enhancements for time lapses. Now, in terms of ISO, we're talking a maximum of 3200 on the GoPro and up to 12800 on the Osmo Action 4. Especially for recording in dark winter months, the DJI here is the clear winner. Now, here's a quick selfie test in wide 4K 60, so you can compare also the audio quality, and afterwards we're gonna jump into the hands-on comparison. Well guys, now let's do a quick walking test here with the selfie stick. Both cameras are mounted on the stick, and there's a little bit of sun in the back. So let's check this out, how it looks like. And it seems that the Action 4 is actually dealing quite good with backlight. And now let's switch around to have the sun in the face. And also listen to the audio quality. So I will now switch also between the microphones. So first we'll check out the microphone of the Action 4. And yeah, let me know what you think about the sound quality. And now let's switch to the GoPro sound. So guys, this is the sound of the GoPro. And as always, I don't think that most people use the microphone in the Action camera itself, so they will just attach some external microphones. But sometimes it's really nice to have also good sound on board. So check it out and let me know what you think about it. Well guys, it's now time for a quick hands-on, and let's get started on the outside, so on the case, the button layout and everything. Now first of all, both are rugged action cameras, and the DJI Osmo Action 4 is a little bit smaller than the GoPro Hero 12 Black Edition. Now both have a screen in the front, screen on the back, and the lens on the GoPro is rectangular, as you can see, while it is circular around on the Action 4. Now for both cameras you can get upgrades like ND filters. This set was for instance included in my bundle with the Osmo Action 4. Now let's have a closer look at the button layout. Now they feature pretty much the same button layout. So we have a power button here located on the left side of the camera. And here the flap on the Action 4, you can open it up really easily with your fingers. So you just slide this out and you flip it up, and here is the charging port. Now on the GoPro, the charging port is actually on the opposite side, and opening up that flap, that takes a lot of force. So you really need to use your fingernail and just pull this out. It's not that easy. So with for instance gloves, I don't think I can open it. Now in here we have the removable battery, so you can just pull it out like this. We have the SD card slot and the charging port. Now also closing is a little bit hard. On the DJI Osmo Action 4, it is easier to open it up. So you just slide this up and you flip it over. Here you have the micro SD card port, and also here a removable battery. Now talking about the battery life is pretty much the same on both batteries. So on the Osmo Action 4 it's on the datasheet like 5 minutes more, but in real life scenarios you can expect pretty much the same battery life. So also in terms of the battery, pretty much the same, 1720 milliamp hours on the GoPro versus a little bit bigger 1770 milliamp hours on the DJI Osmo Action 4. So let's put the batteries back in and let's have a closer look at the rest. But guys, here at the bottom there's a big difference, and probably the most important one. Now on the GoPro there's a tripod mount right over here, and here this included kind of GoPro mount if you forget your cage for the camera. Now this is not really something new. I mean, it's kind of useful, but that's it about it. On the DJI Osmo Action 4 we have a magnetic lock, and this is absolutely amazing. Now my table, it's a metal plate, and as you can see this is magnetic. So basically the camera will attach to any metal surface, and that makes it absolutely amazing. You can even attach it to cars, you can attach it to poles, and the best thing about this is actually that there's also this second part of this magnetic mount, which is also magnetic, and you can just attach it like this with a simple click. No more screws, nothing like that. It's super easy to take it off. So the magnets are pretty strong, but you can easily do that with one hand. I even tried it on my motorbike to take it off with one hand. It's super simple. So you can actually buy more of those mounts, distribute them on your motorbike or in your house, and then you can switch the camera easily between those mounts without screws. And that's the most annoying thing if you want to switch the position of the GoPro and you have to unscrew it. And especially if you're on the motorbike and you have gloves, it just simply sucks. It takes way too long and it's super annoying. So that magnetic lock on the DJI Action 4 is probably the feature that would make me buy it over the GoPro Hero 12 Black Edition. But this is not the only feature. Now, when it comes to charging the cameras and the battery, there is something that really sucks about GoPro, and this is the charging time. Now, rarely anyone talks about charging time, but for me this is super important and really crucial. Especially in the winter where the batteries run out much faster, it's really important for me to recharge the camera from a power bank as fast as I can. Now, the charging time on the GoPro, it can be up to 2 or 3 hours, while on the DJI Osmo Action 4 the charging time is 49 minutes to 100%, or up to 80% in 18 minutes from a power bank. And also in the bundle which I bought, there was this box here which can hold up to 3 batteries. Now there are also bundles on the GoPro, but they include maximum of 2 batteries in the charger, no carrying case, and sometimes they're even more expensive. They include a head strap or some useless things you actually don't need. And there is no bundle that includes a proper charging case with spare batteries. Of course, there are accessory manufacturers that offer that for GoPro, but then you're spending another 100-150 euros on this thing, which is included in the bundle for a really attractive price on the DJI Osmo Action 4. Now, before we check out the features, let's talk a little bit about the front screen. Now, the front screen on the GoPro is just an information screen, so it basically has no functions. It's not a touch screen, but the screen on the DJI Osmo Action 4, it is a touch screen. That means you can fully operate the camera from the front screen. Now, I think this is really important. If you're filming yourself, you maybe want to change some settings. On the GoPro you have to go around or unscrew it to change the settings, which is super annoying, but on the Action 4 it's really convenient. You can just use the front touchscreen to change all of your settings. Now let's talk about external microphones. Right now I'm using the DJI mic, which is really a fantastic microphone, and I also wanted to use it on the cameras. Now on the DJI Action 4, it is no problem. You can just connect it to the Type-C port and it will work. On the GoPro, you cannot connect a USB microphone just to the USB port. You have to buy that Media Mod kit, which is another $100 extra. Of course, the Media Mod kit is nice. It includes also a better microphone, but the big problem about it is that you need to purchase it in order to be able to connect an external microphone via USB to the GoPro. I think that's a total rip-off because it has a USB-C port. It should be capable of using an external microphone without buying that Media Mod kit and spending another $100 extra. So when it comes to connectivity options, for the value, for the price you pay, the DJI Osmo Action 4 is definitely the better choice. But now let's have a closer look here at the user interface. Now, when we're talking about the user interface, I really think it comes down to personal preference. They're quite similar, but I think it's easier to get to things quickly on the DJI Osmo Action 4, while the user interface maybe is a bit smoother on the Hero 12. So it's really personal preference. If you scroll down from the top, you have pretty much the same settings. You can quickly also activate or deactivate the voice control, which is working quite good on both of the cameras. And if you want to adjust things like activate, deactivate log recording and some basic things, it's easier on the DJI Osmo Action 4 as you just tap this button right over here and you can adjust exposure, you can switch on or off the log recording, white balance, and also the field of view. The field of view adjustment on the GoPro is here on the left side. It's maybe a bit faster to reach. And here in the settings on the GoPro, you have to go all the way down to Pro Tune to adjust the things which you can do easily here on the DJI Osmo Action 4. So it's a bit more complicated on the GoPro and takes more time, but other than that, the features are pretty much the same. There's log recording in up to 4K 120. The GoPro can shoot also 5.3K, while we are capping out at 4K on the DJI Osmo Action 4. But to be honest, I don't really shoot in 5.3K, so that option is not really useful for me. I shoot mainly in 4K 60, sometimes if I need in 4K 120, or even both cameras also feature full HD recording in up to 240 frames per second. So this is actually crazy. 240 seconds, you can get some really nice slow motion out of both of the cameras. On the DJI Osmo Action 4, if you swipe here to the left, you can create your own profiles, which is for me pretty important, as I quickly want to switch sometimes between 4K 60 in log and slow motion in log or whatever, and that I don't have to go through the settings. I can create some profiles right over here. On the GoPro, this is kind of also possible, but it's more difficult. You have to save it here as a preset. On the Osmo Action 4, it's much easier. You just save it once, you swipe here to the left, and then you can choose it, and you are much faster. Another thing I've noticed is the start time for the quick action recording. So that basically means how fast the camera starts recording after you press the record button. So I'll turn the cameras off and let's check it out. So let's do the quick start test. Let's press the button on both of the cameras, and the DJI is already recording while the GoPro takes longer to start recording. It's around 3 seconds on the Hero 12 Black Edition, and it's only half a second on the DJI Osmo Action 4. So if you quickly need to shoot something, I mean, 2.5 seconds, it is a difference if there is a shot you really want to catch. So if the quick start option is important for you, I would definitely go with the DJI Osmo Action 4. But guys, the main question, do those cameras overheat? And yes, those cameras can still overheat. It really depends how you use them. If it's mounted on a motorbike, on an FPV drone, they are probably fine because they're getting cooled by the airflow. If they're mounted on the windshield in your car and it's a hot day with a lot of sun, they can definitely overheat. Now the DJI Osmo Action 4 can record up to 90 minutes until the battery dies without a glitch. On the GoPro, it's around 81 minutes. And I've tested this out in my car, and this is really true. Now, it's not really hot here. I heated my car to 23 degrees. I recorded in 4K 60, and the GoPro died around 5 minutes earlier, so the DJI just could record a little bit longer. Now you just have to keep that in mind, but both of the cameras are capable of recording quite long without overheating because they don't have GPS included, and you can record actually quite long. And if those cameras are mounted, for instance, on a drone, on a motorbike, then the overheating issue is simply not there. But in fixed locations or windshield or sun, they can definitely overheat, so just keep that in mind. Now guys, it's Black Friday. There are offers for both of the cameras, but which one should you get? So both are great action cameras. I think it comes down to personal preference, but if you want to have the better camera in terms of hardware and usability, you should go with the DJI Osmo Action 4. The usability is much better. You can connect microphones without having any expensive accessories. You have a screen in the front to adjust things. You have the magnetic mount system, which is really a game changer. And also the menu is a little bit simpler with all those presets. Also the image quality is better on the Osmo Action 4. Some people like more the colors of the GoPro and the HDR feature. So there it really comes down to personal preference, but where it doesn't come down to personal preference is in low light. The DJI Osmo Action 4, because it has the bigger sensor, is the better camera in low light. In all of the comparisons in my tests, it was doing much better footage. So especially if you want to shoot something in the night, and especially now in winter where the days are shorter and it gets dark earlier, I think the Osmo Action 4 is the better choice. Alright guys, so let me know what you think about it. I think both are great cameras, and it's crazy what you can get out of such small devices. If you have any questions about the cameras, feel free to ask. Now, this review is obviously based on my usage. Maybe your usage is different, but for me, it's the Osmo Action 4. As always guys, big thanks for watching this video, and catch you again in the next one. Have a nice day and bye.